Hi there, my name is Liam Roberts. Along with Tommy Akers and Andrew Service, I will be taking you on an adventure through the science of the Enigma Machine. First, let's talk about the parts of the machine. These three gear-type pieces are the rotors. This is the keyboard. This is the plug board. And these are the lights that turn on when certain keys are pressed. Next, how about a little briefing on what Enigma is? During World War II, the Allied forces used Morse code to transmit messages. You would think this would give them a greater advantage. However, the Axis also had a secret code that was immensely more complicated. What made it harder to crack the Enigma code was that it had a setting for each day, or more precisely every 18 hours. And there were many settings to have to go through before it could be cracked. Now, the interesting part, how it works. First, every period of 18 hours has a different number code. The person transmitting the message would look at that code and set the machine to match it. The rotors have numbers ranging from 1 to 26. All the transmitter had to do was set the rotors to the right setting and have the right plugs in the right outlets, and he or she would be good to go. Every time the first rotor makes a full rotation, it moves the second rotor up by 1. Every time the second rotor makes a full rotation, it moves the third rotor up by 1. Think of it as hands on a clock. It has the second hand, the minute hand, and the hour hand. Now, you might be thinking, but wouldn't that mess up the code if the rotors change every time a key is pressed? Well, the code given every 18 hours is basically just a starting position for the machine, so it doesn't affect the code at all. Next, the transmitter would hold down the first letter of the code on the keyboard, and the light would turn on, revealing the letter that is to be used to encode that first letter. The same goes for every other letter afterward. Now, the receiver had the exact same machine as the transmitter. He would have his machine set to the same code, and it would just hold down the letters to the encoded message, and it would essentially decode it. The reason it was so hard to crack was that it essentially had a different code for every letter put into the machine, which wasn't the first idea the Allies had. After learning all of this, it is very clear that the Axis knew the most powerful and complex language ever known.